cute. We think it's cute. On Facebook, there's this little boy on Facebook, and can't be but 4 years old, and he's walking through the house with his pants sacking, and he see this little girl, and the girl couldn't be no more than 3 years old. He said, "You the mama, and I'm the daddy. I'm grown. I'm grown. I'm grown. I'm grown. I'm grown. You." And all you hear the parents say, "Go on, sit down. You think you tough." No, that ain't tough. And that ain't cute. It may be cute now, but then when they turn to the age of 13, 14, and 15 and start telling you, "I'm grown, I'm grown, you do what I tell you to do, cause I'm grown," and then knock you down, then you're gonna be calling Maury talking about, "I need some intervention for that child." You got intervention now. Pull that belt out and do some intervening. And let me pause, because I know some of you read Dr. Spock's book and say that whooping a child is bad. I know you read Dr. Spock because you're educated now. You got a little degree, and say that, it's abusing a child if you whoop them. You ought to give your children a time out and talk to your children and get them to understand what they're doing, so that they'll know that their behavior is inappropriate. Can I tell you that my parents talked to me when they gave me a timeout? "Didn't I tell you not to steal that stuff out the stove?" That was my talking to. And said, "Time out. I need some time to get my breath back. Now that I got my wind, I'm going to kill you. Please, mama, please." Thank you for helping me preach that thing. It's better spoil the child. We got some family problems. And it's serious, you all. I know I'm making a little light of the situation, but it's serious. It's serious because we got some serious family problems. How do you know, preacher? Because people who live next door to each other don't even know each other. Come on, talk to me here. You can live in a 3-flat, and the person on the middle floor don't know the person on the first floor name and can care less about what's happening with the person on the 3rd floor. Am I talking to anybody here? And I hate to sound like an old person and say, "But back in the day," but can I say it like I feel it this morning? But back in the day, neighbors knew each other because they would look out for each other. If I leave home, I want somebody to watch my house because baby may be looking to break in, and I need somebody to call the police. Come on, talk to me if you can. We got a problem. We got a problem because there's no prayer in school, and then there's no prayer in the house. A family that prays together. Y'all ain't gonna help me here today. I'm about to take my seat. It's a family that stays. It ain't nothing wrong with praying with the family. There was a time when the family would sit down at the table and eat together. But now everybody got their own television in their own room. They got their own games in there, close their door, and don't want to be bothered with nobody, and get mad if you come in their room. Y'all not going to help me here. I feel like I'm treading this water by myself this morning. But my mama would tell us, "You better not close that door. I pay the bills in this house." I would say, "That's my dresser." She said, "Yeah, that's why I'm going through it, because I want to see what's in this dresser that I bought in this house." Come on, we'll go through the closet and just do a random inspection. Come on, we're going to go through here, see what you got in. What you brought. Who brought this stuff in this house? Where did you get this items? I got them from my friend. I tell you what, you take them back to your friends. But because the little boys out here doing their little slinging and got a little roll, parents said, "Well, I need a little extra cash," and Johnny is helping me around the house with some extra cash to pay the light bill and to pay the phone bill. I can't use that help. I'm a single parent and I need a little help. Ask Johnny, where did he get that money from? you know he ain't got no job at Mickey D's, and he coming in the house with more money than you, and you work 40 hours a week. I'm talking and y'all just looking at me here. And so, my brothers and sisters, in our text, we find a father that needs some help for his son. He goes looking for someone that he thinks can help him by the name of Jesus. He finds out where Jesus is, and so he grabs his son as a good father would. I know it's not Father's Day, and I know women are used to and accustomed to bashing the men for not taking care of their children. But this father in this text, he's taking care of his son, loves his son so much that he goes looking for Jesus. But by the time he gets there, Jesus is nowhere to be found. But he sees Jesus members, he sees Jesus deacons, he sees Jesus ministers, and he said, well, since Jesus isn't around, let me find the closest people to him, the people who go to church every Sunday, the people who read the Bible on the screen, the people who clap their hands when praise team are singing. Let me go to them and ask them for prayer. They go to Jesus' disciples. It's 9 of them down there because the other 3 are with Jesus. When you read the text for yourself, you'll check it out in Mark chapter 9. When you get home, read the entire chapter for yourself so you can get what we're preaching today. You'll find that Jesus is on the mountain of transfiguration, and he's being transfigured before their very eyes. He has with him Peter, James, and John, and while they're on the mountain, the Bible says that Moses and Elisha appears. I wish I had somebody here. That had to be a glorious church service, to be in church with Jesus. And then all of a sudden, the prophet of Moses shows up, the man of the law, and Elijah, the man who's considered prophecy, law and prophecy, shows up with the law keeper. I ain't got nobody here. When they get there, Peter opens his mouth. And Peter said, Lord, it's good for us to be here. Let's build a tabernacle, one for you, one for Elijah, and one for Moses. And while Peter is talking, the Bible said the heavens opened up and said, Peter, close your mouth, because this is my son. Hear ye him. In other words, God was saying, if you're going to listen to anybody, you ought to listen to Jesus. Can I help somebody here today? Because I want you to know, if you're going to listen to anybody, you ought to listen to what Jesus is saying. Okay, y'all not feeling that, so let me move on. It's a powerful text. He goes to Jesus' disciples. Jesus' disciples prays for his son, this son who has this demon spirit and couldn't do anything for his son. All 9 of them are praying for this little boy. And the little boy is still a terrible little thing. Still cussing, still fussing, still fighting. Come on, y'all act like you don't know what I'm talking about. Some of you can look straight ahead. You ain't got to let people know I'm talking about you. Got some children that's fighting, cussing and fussing, and it seems like you can't do nothing with them. They bring them to his disciples, and his disciples hit a wall. Well, what do you do when you hit a wall? Here this man comes to Jesus looking for Jesus because the man himself hits a wall. Then he goes to Jesus' disciples, and Jesus' disciples hit a wall. This man is crying because he wants some help for his son and can't get any help from the people who are supposed to help him. He's on the mountain, Peter, James, and John, and God has just spoken and said, listen to Jesus. Come on, I wish you would be honest today, because some of us got some problems with our family, and we want some help for our family, and we go to other people, and they can't help us because they themselves had hit the wall. We go to the church, and we get upset with people in the church because they can't help us, and we get upset because they hit a wall. But can I tell somebody simply because your friend can't help you, simply because Oprah can't help you, simply because Dr. Phil can't help you, simply because your neighbor can't help you, doesn't mean that you got to give up on Jesus. Is there anybody here saying, I'm looking for Jesus? That's why I showed up this morning. I didn't show up looking for you. I didn't show up looking for a boyfriend or a girlfriend or to get a hookup. I got up this morning because I'm looking for. Y'all making me preach too hard this morning. Y'all making this too hard. The disciples, they hit a wall. They couldn't heal the little boy. I see why y'all not shouting, because you don't get it. You don't get it. When you read Matthew chapter 17, you'll see that Jesus had given his disciples the power in chapter 10 of Matthew to cast out demons. Y'all don't know when to shout. Did y'all hear what I said? I said in Matthew chapter 10, Jesus had already given them the power to cast out the devils. And so if you got the authority and the power to cast out the devils, and somebody brings their child that has demons and you can't cast them out, you just hit a wall. Can you imagine how this father feels? He's helpless. He's hopeless. He's despondent. I came to some people that I knew would help me, and we all hitting the wall. Where's Jesus? I came here to find Jesus, and I got these scrubs called disciples, and they can't do me no good. They couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. And I know some of you feel that way today, saying, I just can't do it. I can't get my praise on. I can't do it. I got too much going on in my life. I can't do it. I can't lift up my hands today. I want to, but I can't do it because I got so much stuff in my past. I can't do it. I can't love everybody because there were some people that stabbed me in my back. And I know the Bible said that you're to love your enemies, but I haven't got there yet. I can't do it. Is there any folk that feel you just can't do it? You trying to do it. That's why you show up every Sunday. You trying to live right. That's why you're here today, but you just can't. I can't do it. I can't. I'm hitting a wall when it comes to certain things in my life. I'm just keep hitting this wall, and I can't go further. I'm trying every day to get up and get motivated, but I keep finding myself getting in a depression. I can't get out of this thing. I can't do it. I keep trying to get with when the preacher say turn yourself around and things gonna get better, but I can't turn myself around. I try, but it seems like ain't nothing happening. I'm trying to pray, preacher. I know you told us